guys know, here with me again, Putri Nabilla N.S. And finally, we reach out into week 11, that is political apparatus. Without any further ado, let's check it out. So, political apparatus. It is a general term referring to the entire governmental system and the people who run it, including us, or the institution and practices that maintain and sustain government. Essential elements of political apparatus is or are executive, legislative, judiciary, military, and law and enforcement. Executive is to make decisions, legislative to make regulation, judiciary to uphold justice, military to protect the state, and the last is law enforcement to enforce law. The first one we're gonna talk about executive. Executives are the ones who execute the law, example, prime minister or president, along with their appointed officials. And head of state and head of government could be different things. Yeah, it's true because in Indonesia, President Joko Widodo it is a head of state and also head of government. That that those are a good bit. Those are two different things. Head of state and head of government has have different function, have different basically function. In executive and presidential system, there is a president and vice president, minister or cabinet, and parliamentary there is a prime minister, that is cabinet. And general function of the executive is for ceremonial or symbolic policy making, popular reading, bureaucratic, and crisis leadership. So that's the function of executive. So number two, legislatives. Legislatives are the one who represent the people in government and formulate policies. Remember that legislative are the ones who represent the people in government and formulate policies. Despite the name, lawmaking is never done alone by legislative. So, general function of the legislative is to represent and check executive power, writing grounds, formulate to approve laws, sometimes in consultation with executives, formulate to approve state budget and legitimacy. So the third one is judiciary. Remember at the first slide, judiciary it's to uphold justice. So who are the judiciary? Judiciaries are the ones who interpret and administer justice. They are relatively independent and have the power to check both executive and legislative. In each country, the legal system is different. General function of the judiciary: interpreting legislation, revising, amending, abolishing, or arbiter of justice, upholding the constitution, checking and balancing legislative and executive, and providing legal counsel for citizens. So judiciary here is to controlling or is to checking and balancing the legislative and executive one. The the work of legislative and executive will be controlled by the judiciaries here. And military. General function of military is protecting the sovereignty of the state, executing national security directives as defined by executive authority. What happens when the military runs the state? Now, the military may plot a coup d'etat in which they overthrow the executive authority and establish their own. There are many reasons why a coup d'etat may be happen. So, military here is the guard of the state. Military is the ones who control or is the one who protect the state, who maintain the state, who maintain the flow of the state. I mean the flow of the safe the safe country like that. So it is the guard. When the guard is not agree with the state, the military can do a coup d'etat, and it's very terrible. So the general function of the military is the armed force of the state, responsible matter of national security. So military here is for national security. In some cases, the military can be separated from politics or heavily involved. Separated civil or political say known as civil military relation. So we gotta talk more about civil military relation that has been in the political science before. There is a knowledge about civil military that we can dig deeper into that. So the last is law and enforcement. So the function is to enforce of the law, responsible for maintaining law and order within the state. Not only limited to police, can refer to any institution that is empowered to enforce the law using force. The relevant authority is national police, cybercrime, special weapon and tactics, city forces, military police, customs and excise, and private LEAs. General function of the LEA is upholding and enforcing the law, like the previous slide, enforcing the law, providing public safety, lawful seizure and or arrest, carry out comfort or overt investigation. That is the general function of law and enforcement. Let us understand what an ideal apparatus ought to deliver. Ideal apparatus. We're gonna talk about ideal apparatus. So the apparatus should be able to carry out their duties and preserve the state and constitution, and should be able to fulfill the common interest, should not have unchecked power. Now, the political apparatus are executive, legislative, judiciary, military, and law and enforcement. Thank you.